think I'm going. What's happening, y'all? So I've been working on this neck today. This is a walnut neck, and I've decided that I want to put tall binding on here after the frets go on because I want to do those little binding nubs a la the fancier Gibsons. So I'm going to so I got the fretboard radius and I got the frets pressed in. And now what I have to do is I have to grind off the fret ends. These, you can see them here, these fret ends right here. As you notice, I've done them on this side and everything's flush on this side. What I got to do is take a set of nips here. These are the ones from Bitterroot, and they're really good. They get really, really close to the edge, and just go down and cut those all off and then file them. You know, I've been catching a lot of shade lately. I always catch shade, but no, a couple of people have been giving me a bunch of shade lately. You know, stuff like Paul Reed Smith would never do it like that. I need to make a video called Don't Build Guitars Like Paul Reed Smith. Now, I know what you're thinking. Not because I don't like the way Paul Reed Smith does it, because I do. And I try to emulate a lot of the stuff Paul Reed Smith does because I am a mega, mega fan of Paul Reed Smith. But because I only know of one person with a 5-axis CNC machine, Haas CNC machine like Paul Reed Smith has. And so to build guitars exactly like Paul Reed Smith does, it's just not practical for guys like us. You know what I mean? Unless you're making a bunch of guitars in a factory, it's just not practical. So all right, so I got all those ends ground off. Then I'm going to take a little file. I like this one, and just kind of go along the edge here and clean that up. And it won't take much because, like I said, these Bitterroot nippers are really, really good. So anyway, so yeah, back to the whole don't make guitars like Paul Reed Smith. People are like, they say stuff like, I can't believe you're fretting the neck before you shape it. And I know, like, I know for a fact what they're talking about. This video that's on the Paul Reed Smith website about how long it takes them to make their necks, and how they like to. It's almost like they're like reciting almost word for word like what is on that PRS video, and it's, you know, you just take a little bit off and then you let it sit and you let it relax, and yeah, I get it. You let it sit and you let it relax. But I don't do it like that. And it doesn't mean that Paul Reed Smith is, you know, that I think Paul Reed Smith isn't cool, because I do. It just means that I don't worry about that because my climate is way drier than Maryland. If you've ever been to Colorado, and if you've ever been to Maryland, you will know that it's a very, very different humidity. So anyway, all right, so something a little like that. I saved some of that for you guys. So yeah, so I've been catching a bunch of shade. There must be like a resurgence in PRS videos, because people have been telling me that the way I'm doing it is wrong. On guitars like this, I used to do the fretboard, and I would do the fretboard before I would glue the fretboard on, fret it, bind it, and glue the fretboard on to the neck. That's really a pain in the butt. So I came up with the way that I do it, and it works well for me. And you know what? Just because Paul Reed Smith doesn't do it like that does not mean that it is wrong. It just means that it is different than the way Paul Reed Smith does it, which is fine. Paul Reed Smith doesn't actually bind many necks anyway with plastic binding. But yeah, there was someone giving me a buttload of grief yesterday. I don't know who it was. Talking about my hat. Now I know I'm pretty, but yeah, really jealous. What a way to live. Anyway. Hey, everybody, this is Matt. We're at Texas Toast Guitars. Thanks for watching. It is Friday, and it's time for a reveal. I have a little tiny bit of beer here. You will notice that, so I might have to get up and get another beer. Maybe I'll take you around the shop a little bit too. But you'll notice that Chris is not here. If you guys were joining us yesterday, you remember that Chris is gone today, but I was here and Brandon was here, and we did all kinds of fun stuff today. So I might, and who knows, I might even show you some of that. But I hope you guys are doing good. Hope you're having a good Friday. Easter is this weekend, so I hope you guys are going to see family and do that stuff. And I could move to the middle of the camera. I have the whole camera to do whatever the hell I want. Let's check in and see how y'all are doing. ZB says it's funny, but I've been to every state around Colorado, but have yet to visit. Well, ZB, why don't you get on over here? Southeast Home Recording says his surgery went well and he's flying. That's good. Dan's in Alabama. Conan Mills is here. Spike is here. Lefty's here. Sean is here. Doc is here. Michael is here. Emily is here. Hi, Emily. Rod is here all the way up in Alaska. Rod's ready to party. Joel is here. Jackie is here, or they were here. Ed and Joe. Ed. Ed says 7 years in Colorado, and it ain't Florida. No, it is not, sir. Here's one. Maurizio says hello from Bogota, Colombia. Hello, sir. How are you? Thank you for joining us all the way down in Bogota. Hi, Bobby, Rotbox, Chris. How y'all doing? So it's Friday, you guys, and it's time to unwind a little bit. I've got a very exciting weekend planned, and just personal stuff for me, and I get to do all kinds of good stuff. So I'm really looking forward to that. And not very much of it is working on this neck, but you never know what you'll find. We've got a video coming out on Sunday that I'm looking forward to. It's the first video that Chris kind of takes over in the that Challenger build that we're doing. That's going to be Purple Metal Flake or Purple MF, depending on when you are here in the shop with me. So yeah, but anyway, I've been catching shade lately. I must be doing something right. So every so often, one of the forums will, and I don't spend time on forums. You guys know that. If you've ever been out here, if you've ever talked to me, you know that I don't goof around on forums a lot, mostly because I spend 10 or 12 hours every day doing guitar stuff. The last thing I want to do when I go home is more guitar stuff. So I don't spend a lot of time. Actually, I don't spend any time on guitar forums, which, I'm okay with. And the other reason that I don't do that is because most of the information there is this kind of dumb information, especially the building stuff. Now, I don't know anything about what makes a vintage guitar cool, or if someone goes, hey, can you help me figure out how old my Joe Satriani Ibanez is, whatever. I don't know anything about that, and I'm sure you can find good information there. But what I can tell you is, when it comes to building stuff and building sites, usually those devolve into CNC is better than hand work, is better than pin router. Anyone who uses a regular router is dumb. If you don't use CNC, you suck, or whatever it is. And so I try to not really goof around doing that stuff. So anyway, but I guess the point I'm trying to make is, the long way around the barn is, for all those people who give me grief, thank you for going on to forums and telling everybody about how stupid you think I am, because for every 10 people, for every 99 people that say, yeah, that guy's not cool, he's not as good as Paul Reed Smith, there's one guy there's a 1%er out there who actually appreciates the kinds of things that people like me do. And that's a very cool thing. So hopefully I will find that diamond, that 1%er, thanks to, some of those rotten comments. Hey, Tony, how you doing? I see Tony's here. So CNC is better till it ain't. LOL, Lefty. Yeah, you're right, Lefty. Sometimes CNC is awesome, and sometimes we had a neck that I'm doing. It's a roasted maple, and it was going great. And then the CNC, the CNC can't say, "Ooh, I better slow down in this area, or I better climb cut into this area, or I better," unless you tell it to. The CNC is a very sophisticated tool that's also very dumb. So it's not a woodworker. The CNC works wood, but it's not a woodworker. So we got roasted maple in from Dan at Tonewood Experts, and looking really good. And it's going. And then a big chunk of it flies off. I'm like, son of a bitch. So Chris is like, well, let's just chuck up the other one. I'm like, no, I'm just going to go old school on it because I can see where the problem areas are going to be, and I can sand up to it, and I can do this, that, and the other. And it worked out great. But, so sometimes working with the CNC is terrific. And other times you kind of got to know when to, the guitar that we did last night, I want to come back to this too. The guitar we did last night, the Rare Bird, I worked with Bruce for a couple of years. A lot of fun guy, very knowledgeable, funny dude. But he would always say, well, I know how to use hand tools, and so blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, whatever, old man. But it's true. You have to know when to use hand tools, because or it is possible, and it's even likely that you're going to ruin a lot of wood with a CNC machine, especially if you are a novice CNC machine user like I am. In fact, I'm so much of a novice that I go, here, Chris, you do this. And Chris has only been doing it for a little while. So I was doing tax stuff today, and I looked at, our CNC machine, the receipt for that. And I'm like, oh, we haven't even had that for a year. So ZB says he's talking to himself, but he recently bought the John Petrucci Jazz picks. And although I had to get used to them, damn, they play with a sweet spot. Love them. That's cool, man. Yeah, John Petrucci, that guy can jam. So Lefty O, thank you for that. Thank you for saying that you appreciate what we do. Tony, yes, Tony's guitars will actually both be revealed on April 29th. So be sure to watch for that. There's the full size carved top Marine Corps build, and the Cavaquejo, which will be very cool. So yeah, I forget what. Oh yeah, the guitar from last night. What did you guys think of the? I have this old guitar. I thought that was really fun. And I hope that we do that some more. Sir David Dangerous actually sent me an email today, and he's like, "Hey man, I'm coming out in May. I'm driving. I'm going to bring some stuff. I think I'll bring one of my old guitars. I think he's going to bring like something a little kooky, and we can do. I have this old guitar with one of the Dangerous brothers. You never know. Maybe Doug will bring out one of his. I know Doug's got a big collection too, and who knows what's in that? Some neat stuff. So, but I had a lot of fun with that, and I hope you guys did too, because that was a cool thing. So, yeah. All right. Well, you know what? I'm gonna go get a beer. Maybe I'll wander over to maybe I'll show you guys some of what's going on. Now, I won't be able to see what I'm showing you, but I will show you a couple of things. One of them is all of the challengers for the, I don't know if you guys can see that. Let's see what that looks like here. Yeah, there you go. So all of those challengers right over here, guys, forgive me if this isn't in the picture, but all of these are some of the challengers for the TV yellow builds. Now, these are far from being done, but as you can see, they all look cool. So if you guys bought one of the TV yellow challengers for the February deal, here are some of them. There are 17 of them being made right now, and this is 5 of them in yellow. All right, I gotta go get another beer. Hang with me, y'all. Hang with me. It's only going to take a second. Okay. You know, this is weird doing this without two people. You know what I mean? All right, here we go. Here we go. I haven't lost anybody, have I? All right. All right. I hope I haven't lost anybody while I was out goofing around, getting beers and showing camera angles that I can't see. That's playing fast and loose with this whole concept of the live video. Okay. Someone said the mountains are blue, and yes, sir, they are. I think that was Devin. Missed that guy. I guess it's snowing up there. All right, so it's time for a reveal. I know what everyone's thinking. Hey, Matt, shut up and reveal the guitar. Okay, I'm going to show you guys a very cool Challenger that I'm extra happy about. This is a, oh, you know what? You won't be able to see it because, yeah, so my shirt is too dark for this cutaway here. But so this is a Challenger. I guess this is a junior. And it's a single P-90 with it's a solid piece of mahogany. And what do you think of this pick guard? I don't like this pick guard. I think I like this pick guard better. So, but Chris made two, so I thought I would try to fool y'all. So yeah, so this is kind of this is the most. It's not the most basic Challenger that we make, but it's really close. So it has a bound fretboard. Well, I'll start at the headstock here. So of course it's got the TTG headstock that I'm so in love with, and I really love it. It has Hipshot open gear non-locking tuners because I like them the best. Somebody once was like, you need to get closed back tuners because the open gear ones look cheap. Well, you know what I think what I said was, I think I even dropped Paul Reed Smith. I even name dropped Paul Reed Smith. I'm like, well, if you look at Paul Reed Smith, he doesn't have them. So I guess not everybody believes that Paul Reed Smith is awesome like I do. So anyway, Hipshot open gear non-locking tuner, 7-degree headstock angle, which is the one true and holy headstock angle. Of course, this guitar has a volute, which all guitars should have a volute, especially if they have something that's got an angle on it. And even if it's got a slight angle like ours, 7-degree, should still have a volute. This features a 22 fret bound neck, 24 3/4 inch scale, black poison wood fretboard on a mahogany back. Get a load of that, you guys. Chris does such a good job with. I wish he was here because I like to toot his horn for him. That's not a euphemism. Well, maybe it is. I like to let Chris know how good of a job he does on all the finishes because it is really excellent. So you can see it's actually he's even burst the neck. See what I mean? The neck has a little bit of a burst on it. So anyway, it does have a single P-90. Now the neck joint actually goes all the way in, just like it does on our regular Challenger guitars. And that's why it has the pickguard, because you can see the neck joint actually goes into the body. Okay. This has one P-90. In this case, this is a Gibson P-90 that was, we got this from our good friend in New Jersey, sent us this pickup, KB, and Hipshot fixed bridge with the string through tuner, or string through tuners, with the string through ferrules on the back, which I think is excellent. This is a piece of Honduran mahogany that we get from Dan and Calvin at Tonewood Experts. Same with the neck. Volume and tone for the one pickup. You could probably just get away with just the volume control, actually. And I love the way these knobs look. I don't like the way, although you know what, I just turn everything up and don't worry about it. So if I need to have the guitar be quieter, I step on the tuner and it makes the guitar quiet. So what do you guys think of the single P-90? I think that this is one of my favorite things. You know, my first guitar was a single pickup Gibson SG. Had one humbucker. I bought it in like 1983 and it was used, so I'm sure it was from the 70s. It was one humbucker. Didn't have any of the contours, which I was a little bummed out by, but it had one humbucker. And I traded that a couple years later for a 2 P-90 SG with a whammy bar, which sucked. But it looked really neat. And I forget what I did with that guitar. But yeah, so I love the one P-90. You know, there's something growly and gritty, and this thing is a monster. Now, I know what for all those guys who throw me shade and say, why don't you play the guitar? Well, I'll tell you why, shade throwers. It's because our bandwidth here does not support anything of that volume. For some reason, when you start to turn it, there's a little bit of a delay, and any sort of music or anything that's not talking gets really garbled and really grungy sounding really fast. So we stopped doing that. Plus, you know, if you can't imagine that this guitar is going to sound awesome, it's like, well, I've never played a P-90 before. No, you know what a P-90 sounds like. And if you don't trust me, then I don't know, Guitar Center is open at 10. Go hang out there and tell them all the good stuff that you know or you learned on the internet. So yeah. But yeah, one P-90. I think this is like the super simple guitar. This isn't even on the website yet. I haven't even put it up there yet. But one day, very soon, it will go up there. And I think that in fact, I think that the single P-90 Challenger is with this pick guard might be one of my all-time favorite, like, basic guitars. Like, if we're not going to do it hollow, let's do it like this, and just, you know, real simple. And yeah, I mean, I love this thing. I think this is super light. It's super cool, and yeah, it's an awesome guitar. So anyway, what did we call this video? This is weird to do this, you guys, without Chris here, or without, you know, maybe like Ike from Flipside should be here. But yeah, whoa. Let me put my danger glasses on and see what Tony says. He thinks it looks great. Lefty says the single is fine, but a Filtertron would look better. Call me and we'll get a guitar going for you if that's what you want. Southeast Home Recording. I drove my last Telly Farrell's crooked. You know, that sucks, man. I have done that a number of times. And yeah, when we got that that drill guide for this, it made everything better almost immediately. So yeah, so, and I think I can't remember what the video was called, but I think I got it on eBay. I can't remember who did it, but yeah, so get yourself a drill guide for this, and it makes life a ton easier. Single pickup guitars are the best. Pass on the tone control. I agree. I mean, I just turned it up and it's, you know, it's like it's not there. And Brad says this is my favorite finish you do. Thank you, Brad. This is one of my favorites too. This tobacco burst is what I would call this. I have a single humbucker in the bridge, but not a single P-90 in the bridge. It's super cool. It is super cool, sir. And this particular P-90 Southeast Home Recording is a monster, even in the clean channel. This thing. Oh, no, I forgot to tell. I like this jack. I like this electro socket jack versus, you know, something that has like a plastic cover. I just think it looks cool. Tony, it is for sale, but it's not on the website yet. I don't know how much this weighs. I'm going to guess right in that 8-pound range. It's not super, you know, it's not Billy Gibbons light, but it's not 1982 Les Paul heavy either. Thank you, Bobby. Maybe use this time spot and have guests on to talk about guitar. I think that would be great. You know, we wanted to do I have this old guitar yesterday because I just didn't want to do a Q&A last night. Adam says that would look great in Australia. I couldn't agree more, sir. Looks so cool. You both did a very good job. Thank you so much, Crystal Bass. SS says that he will be happy to be the guest tonight. What would you like to know? Mark Dresser, Mark, I haven't forgot about you. I've just been so busy doing stuff. I know I need to get back to you, sir. The tortoiseshell looks great with tobacco burst. Awesome. Karsten Hammer Hansen, lovely. Karsten has his V is coming up. It's on the board, ready to assemble. Karsten Hammer's V. Thank you, Fred. Thank you, Jeffrey. Yeah, so all right, cool. Southeast Home Recording. Any bass reveals in the future? I don't know if there are any bass builds coming up or not. As of right now, there are no bass builds coming up in the future because we're focusing on the Challenger guitar. Now, I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, well, why don't you make a Challenger guitar? And that's a good idea. I just haven't done it yet. I do have a customer who has threatened to commission a Challenger bass, but he hasn't actually pulled the trigger yet. So I don't know. Yeah, guys, if you're interested in this guitar, I realize that it's kind of it's a dumb thing for me to go, hey, guitar, you should buy it, and then you can't buy it. So if anyone's really interested in this, send me an email. And I don't get the emails anymore. That goes to an email that we have a new person who's answering all the emails for me now. And so it might look like I'm doing that, but it's actually not me. But if they get an email from you, they will let me know that you are interested in this guitar. So yeah. This thing is a monster. It's a monster. And it comes with 2 pick guards. Let's take a few more. I'm just going to move this out of the way here. And Lefty, I'm not sure on the price of this. I'm thinking it's going to be right around the same money that the November Challengers were going for. So right in that $2,000 kind of price range. If you're interested, send me an email and I'll let you know. Yeah, I need to see a Challenger bass too. Yeah, I think that would be cool. I'd love it more with a black pickguard or a clear pickguard. Well, if you want to buy this, I would be more than happy to say, hey, Chris, we need to make a black pickguard for it. And Chris would jump through hoops to make you a black pickguard. I love this hat. I don't know why everyone doesn't like this hat. There are some people who think that I'm no damn good and I'm obnoxious and lazy and I'm uneducated and my opinion means nothing. But I know I'm a real good dancer. Wait, that's a different thing. So, all right, I'm getting a little bit goofy. And Tony, thank you for the nice, kind words about my hat. Yeah, and you too, ZB and Lefty and Southeast Home Recording. So guys, thanks for watching this reveal. I hope that you guys have a killer weekend, and I hope that you join me on Sunday for the premiere video that we do every Sunday at 5. This is yet another in the series of Challenger build things. Oh, that's what some guy was like. Okay, all right, guys, I got to get this off my chest. Some butthead yesterday was telling me that he doesn't like my Challenger guitar. So, all right, fine. I get it. You don't like my guitar, but why are you hanging around if you don't like my guitar or me? So he's like, it's a cross between a Telecaster and a Les Paul. Actually, nothing could be further from the truth. It's the funny thing is from here, this part looks very Tele-y. This part looks very, very Les Paul-y, but I don't know if you guys can see this, but the Challenger is actually got an offset. So this waist area is relieved deeper than this part of the waist area. And everyone thinks this is a Tele. This is actually very reminiscent of a Firebird. You won't believe me until I show you, but it's very, very close to a Firebird horn. Because Fender stuff doesn't do a whole lot for me anymore. It does. Gibson stuff does more for me, but of course, Hamer stuff has always done a lot for me, and Dan Armstrong stuff has done a bunch for me. So if you look at any of my instruments and you don't see a Hamer influence or a Dan Armstrong influence, think headstock. It's because you are not aware of those things. And it doesn't mean that you're I don't know. It doesn't mean we can't be friends, but it means that, you don't know what you're talking about. So anyway, all right, I'm going to get off my soapbox for that. But yeah, that was something. Yeah, bummed me out. Someone was it didn't bum me out. They didn't like my guitar because I don't care. Because like I said, I'm a 1% guitar builder. I build guitars for the 1% guitar player, guys who walk through fire, guys who actually make things by my guitars. When I say make things, I mean guys who actually make music. And there's a lot of people who just want to have guitar collections and stuff, and they go to Guitar Center, and that's cool. Yeah, go to Guitar Center and hang out, and try to impress them with your how neat you are, and who knows, maybe they'll be impressed. So, all right, rant off. I think you guys like it when I rant a little bit. Maybe not. Okay. All right, gang. Let's go and have a great weekend. I will see you on Sunday at 5 Mountain Time for the premiere. And I'm looking forward to that. I don't know what the following week's going to be, but I think I'm done with Challenger stuff for a little bit. It will probably be something good like why you should stop building guitars like Paul Reed Smith. So, all right, guys, Matt talking, take 2. All right, gang, have a great weekend. I will talk to you on Sunday, and I hope to see you then. Take care, everybody. Be safe. Have a good weekend.